I want to start this episode with a moment of silence for the plant that gave its life to bring laughter to my life and laughter to the world. So please bow your heads as we begin with a moment of silence, please. Thank you. All right. Before we begin, I just want to let people know I do apologize if I cuss. I can't fucking help it. Okay? I'm not looking for attention. I got attention all my life, and that's why I hate the motherfucking police. I mean, I know they're just doing their job, but I still fucking hate them. People always come up to me and tell me, Jose, why you hate the fucking police? There's some good cops out there. I'm like, shit. There's some good crackheads out there, but people still hate them. I mean, if they're not going to give the crackheads the benefit of the doubt, shit, I'm not going to give it to the police. Shit, crackheads are just doing their job too. And I could talk about crackheads because I used to be an addict myself. You know, people can change. It's possible. People can change, bro. But there's a good indicator on how you can judge if a person can change. Like, if the motherfucker can't change his drawers, pretty good indicator that nigga ain't gonna be able to change his life. Because all that nigga gotta do is take them off, and changing life is a lot more motherfucking work. So that's a good indicator, so watch out for those. Anyways, I also want to tell people not to take any advice from comedians. I was watching the Sinbad episode special once where he was talking about giving advice for those, you know, couples who can't have sex in their home anymore because, you know, the kids are always around banging on the door and, you know, just always interrupting the moment. So he's just saying, you know, what you need to do is leave the motherfucking door open and they'll see you, and them motherfuckers will never fuck with you people again. You know, they'll let y'all niggas get your groove on. So I'm like, damn, why I didn't think about that? Because when I was a kid, I walked into the room with my mother and father, and let me tell you, man, I never fucked with them again after 8 o'clock. I just couldn't do it. Excuse me, battery's dying. But anyways, so me and my wife, I tell my wife, and my wife's a little hesitant. She's like, no, I don't want that. But anyways, nigga, I left the door open. I'm crying, you know, I left it open, so if they come, they're gonna see. So me and my wife, we're doing our shit. I'm getting my little salsa on in the bed and shit. You know how it's Ricans do. But anyways, all of a sudden I hear the door open. And I'm like, oh shit, so I stopped to look just in case she's looking. But then I hear little footprints run away. I'm like, yeah, nigga, yeah. So I keep doing my shit. And all of a sudden I hear the door knock. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck is that? So I run to the door. I go to the door. I open the door. Get on the motherfucking ground. It's the police. Get on the fucking ground. You fucking woman beater. Get on the fucking ground. We got him. We got him. We got him. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? We know everything. We know everything. Your daughter saw it all. You were trying to kill your wife. You were choking her. I'm like, oh, hold up. What the fuck are you talking about? I wasn't choking her. It was in a good way. Oh, we got a confession here. And that's how I got my motherfucking domestic on my record. Crazy shit, right? I'm not a woman beater, bro, but, I mean, I wasn't going to stay in jail 2 years to prove my innocence, so I just took the first plea bargain the DE gave me because them motherfuckers had me in there rotten. But anyways, the other day, I'm at the park with my kids, and we go to the park, and we go to the petting zoo, and then we go to the park, and we get to the park, and we sit down, and my kids run to go play, and some white guy sitting next to us, like, talking with the kids and shit. It's kind of awkward because he's old, and I'm like, what the fuck? My wife, you know, we look at each other, give each other that, you know, that look, you know, parents know what I'm talking about. But anyways, so I go to the car to go smoke a little joint real quick. I come back, and my wife's like, yo, babes, that nigga's here alone, son. That nigga's here alone. I don't know what the... I'm like, just keep an eye on that motherfucker. Just keep an eye on that motherfucker. So then I'm like, so I'm sitting down. I'm writing some jokes on the bench and shit. And all of a sudden, this nigga comes up to us. And he's like, yo, do you know where there's a restroom, a porta potty, or an outhouse where I can use it? I'm looking at this motherfucker like, no. And my wife's like, yeah, there's a bathroom over there. And where the farm's at. And he's like... I'm gonna have to take my little boy all the way over there. I'm like, this nigga is a pervert, bro. I'm like, yo, what the fuck's wrong with this nigga, son? And he's like, I don't think my little boy's gonna like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? This nasty motherfucker getting fat. I'm like, listen, motherfucker, I don't give a fuck about your little boy. And this nigga looks at me like with this weird look, walks away. And he's like, come on, Billy, let's go. Let's get the fuck out of here. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm a piece of shit. He ain't a motherfucking pedophile. And then I'm like, oh shit. So we stay at the park and I'm like, yo, fuck it. We just, I just felt like an asshole. So then the motherfucking police came. And it was the same motherfucking cop that arrested me for the fucking the bullshit domestic. This nigga pulls up like, how did I have a feeling it was gonna be you? Like he knew it was like this is my motherfucking MO and shit. He's like, how did I know this shit was gonna be you? I'm like, listen. And he's like, hey, Officer Thomas. It's the guy I was telling you about. Yep. The wife choker. Yeah, we're gonna get this motherfucker. So you telling people fuck them and their little boy? Really? I'm like, listen, man. I thought he was a pedophile. He was playing with all the little boys. And then he was talking about he had to pull out his little boy. And he's white and old. Little boy. I put 2 and 2 together. That motherfucker looked at me, arrested me. And that's how I got my motherfucking disorderly conduct. That's some crazy shit, right? I just want to finish this episode by just letting fat people know that, a little advice for fat people, I should say. Or fat women. If you're fat, do me a favor, don't dye your hair white. Because you look like motherfucking Cinderella ate the motherfucking apple orchard. Okay? Or I should say Snow White.